A wartime energy dispute has now erupted into a serious political confrontation inside the European Union. Slovakia has formally asked the European Commission to inspect the Druzhba pipeline after Russian oil transit through Ukraine was suspended earlier this month. Bratislava says it has been denied access to verify the alleged damage and insists the pipeline remains operational. With oil flows halted and a state of oil emergency declared, Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico has retaliated by suspending emergency electricity supplies to Ukraine. He calls it the first reciprocal step and says the measure will remain until oil transit resumes.
As of today, if Ukraine asks Slovakia for help in stabilizing its energy network, it won't get it. As I said, this is the first reciprocal measure.
Fico says he attempted direct dialogue with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky before taking action, seeking clarity on when oil shipments would restart. But according to Bratislava, Kyiv delayed talks, deepening Slovak suspicions that the halt is political rather than technical.
Before adopting today's first reciprocal measure against Ukraine for President Zelensky's hostile acts, I was interested in speaking with the President of Ukraine by telephone to find out when, and if at all, oil supplies to Slovakia would be resumed. We received a message that the Ukrainian president is ready for talks only after February 25 this year.
Slovakia now openly accuses Kyiv of weaponizing energy transit. Fico claims Slovak intelligence indicates the pipeline is functional and says his ambassador in Kyiv has not been allowed to inspect the allegedly damaged section, calling the suspension a deliberate political move.
Stopping the flow of oil is a purely political decision with the aim of taking Slovakia out of the international war on Ukraine. Slovakia is a sovereign country and it cannot be taken out.
The economic impact is mounting. Slovakia says it has already lost hundreds of millions of euros annually after gas transit was halted. And now, oil shortages are forcing the Slovnaft refinery to source crude globally at higher costs. Fico has also warned that Slovakia may reconsider its support for Ukraine's EU membership if the dispute continues.
If the Ukrainian side continues to harm Slovakia's interests in the supply of strategic raw materials, the Slovak government will also reconsider its previous constructive stance on Ukraine's membership in the European Union and prepare further reciprocal measures.
With Brussels now drawn into the crisis, Slovakia is demanding an independent inspection of the Druzhba pipeline to determine whether oil transit can resume. What began as an infrastructure dispute has escalated into a geopolitical standoff, testing EU unity, wartime solidarity, and the future trajectory of Ukraine's European ambitions.